All right, welcome back to the Crimson Metal Show. We got the boys from Barrun on the phone, and looking forward to hearing from them. So, guys,
All right, we got.
how's it going up there in Wisconsin?
Good. It's been going really good. This is a typical snow state, and we've had a lot of snow, but the snow's all gone, and so been kind of windy the last few days, but that's just the way it is here.
Sounds good. I have to know about your name. Your name confuses me because I don't see a lot of names that has a slash in it.
Well, it's like everything in the music industry. It has to be original, and everybody asks about what does the name really mean, and it's one of those names that could be multiple meanings. The intellectuals, especially in the music industry, love multiple meanings. And actually, the name Barrun Ruins is short for Barry Run. I played a lot of sports when I was young. I was fast. I was a running back in high school playing football, and so Barry Run is actually short for Barry Run. And Ruins is a Scandinavian or Germanic alphabet, and each letter or character of the alphabet has its own story. So Barrun Ruins is actually just another way of saying Barry's stories.
Okay, gotcha. Very nice. Now, you guys have been around for a while, right? How long have you guys? How long have you guys been playing music?
Honestly, 50 years. We started this 50 years ago.
Yeah, but I think it's great. I'm 48 years old almost, and I've been playing for 30 years. So
yeah.
I think it's great that you guys are still rocking, like, that old saying of if you're too old to rock and roll type of thing. I mean, I appreciate you guys. You're never too old. Still out there rocking hard. And you still got the look. You still got the clothes. I mean, I think it's great. It's absolutely great.
So. We have one rule about the band, and we're going to have fun. There's a lot of things in life we have no control over, and we don't worry about that. We're just going to have fun because tomorrow's a new day. We've had a great run. The best one we've ever had in the years that we've played. So we just are going to have fun as long as we can.
All right.
So, hey, this is Joel, the Rock Doc. How you doing? Thanks for being on the show.
You bet. How you doing?
I'm good. So I lived in Madison, Wisconsin for 6 years. So I love southern Wisconsin.
Mad City. Yeah, man.
Dude, it is Mad City in all the best ways, right?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite Wisconsin beer?
Actually, Laney Kukels. We're not too far from the Laney's brewery right now.
So you're near Chippewa Falls.
Yeah. You know your stuff. Yeah.
I've toured the brewery there, man. That's a good time.
Yeah, all right. This Spotted Cow is really getting popular up here now. I really enjoy that also. It's a New Glarus beer.
Yes.
From New Glarus, Wisconsin, and I believe you can only buy it in Wisconsin. And
yes, we have to steal it from Wisconsin to get it down here into Okie land.
Okay, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, why don't you tell us about this, your first song here called Charge Forward Again?
Well, we won the Academia Awards for the Best Heavy Metal Song, and part of that awards, they promote the song all around the world right now. The song's being played in China.
Thanks, Chris.
And being played in even Africa. We finally broke into Africa. It's in northern Africa and Egypt and Morocco and in southern Africa, but it's the hardest part is to get it licensed in China. But we're licensed in 5 stations in China, 2 of them in Hong Kong, 1 in Taiwan, a bunch of them in Japan. But that song is being played all over the world right now.
That's pretty awesome. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody that if you have a question for the band, you can post it on the Facebook page, or you can tweet it to @OU Crimson Metal. And right now, let's take a little break and let's listen to the Barrun song, "Charge Forward Again."
From this battle sword, no time for patience.
right, welcome back to the Crimson Metal Show. That was Charge Forward Again by Barrun Runes. So,
Yeah, we were talking with the guys from Barrun Runes,
Yeah.
and they brought up something that sounded, it sounds like the science of music here.
Right.
Is it band equity points?
right, with
So
Reverb
guys,
Nation. So
Reverb Nation, how does that work?
exactly.
Well-
You guys have been on the top of the metal charts for quite a while, on Reverb Nation, and so what is the secret formula for manipulating those charts? How do you get these band equity points? It's kind of like on Facebook. How do you work the system to get your posts up in the feed so that you can get more views?
Well, as far as the band equity points go, it's really about winning contests. There's a lot of contests that you can enter from radio stations and record labels, but they're just contests that you have to win. You get so many equity points depending on the quality of the contest. You'll get so many equity points for that. But
Well, we just accidentally lost our call. I think I'll give them a call back here. In the meantime, guys, what do you guys think about Reverb Nation? You guys have a page on Reverb Nation?
Yeah, we definitely have not utilized it like that. So that kind of gives me some ideas, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, we dropped the call here.
Yeah, we dropped a call. All right, well, let's we got you back. So
Okay.
no
So anyway, but
no harm, no
back to the
foul.
band equity points. Band equity points. It's really about how many times you get played, and how many fans that you get consistently, on a consistent basis. To be number one, like we are on the global and U.S. metal charts, you need to cycle about 70,000 band equity points every 2 weeks.
Okay.
We're currently ranked number 3 in the global all genre chart, and you need to cycle about 100,000 band equity points every 2 weeks to be number 1 in the global all genre chart. We've been number 1 6 times on Reverb, but it's really the same old process of you have to have a lot of airplay. You have to consistently, remind all of the people that came and downloaded your songs from your press kit. You got to remind them that we're still there, that they can still play our songs, and we got to remind the fans in that area that to recommend that they play the songs. It's really, things have changed, the platforms have changed, but the basic equation hasn't changed. You need good songs, and you need loyal fans to support you.
Now, do you think that the technology like Reverb Nation has as it's evolved, you find it easier? Do you find that it's helped you guys, or do you pine for the old days when you were recording on analog tape and mailing out cassette tapes to labels?
Well, I went to an online university called Song U out of Nashville, and I worked with a guy named Gary Earl, and Gary's, he was an Olympic athlete and a very good songwriter and producer in his own right. And I worked with Gary for probably 6 or 7 years. He's from the old school, and I love the sound of analog. Bands like Black Keys still do that analog recording. I mean, they're really fussy about doing that. But the technology has given bands like us that don't live in Nashville or New York or LA the opportunity to just present our songs on a platform so that we have the ability that everybody around the world can hear. It's like our song Charge Forward Again. We'd have never had the opportunity to win all these awards that we've won or get nominated because without the internet and without Reverb Nation. It just gives us a platform to present our songs. Before, we were basically locked in like everybody else. If you didn't have a major label and you didn't have a way to get them on the radio station, no one would ever hear you. I mean, you look at bands like Van Halen and Rush. These are icon bands. But without Gene Simmons and Kiss, no one would have ever heard of Van Halen or Rush. Gene Simmons put $1 million with his own money in a year's time worth of work to get Van Halen a major record deal. And that's how fickle the industry is. And it hasn't changed much, but Yeah, I could go on forever because we've been through the ringer here. We've been through this. We know how it works. So,
Okay.
Hey guys, I just think you guys need to. You guys have earned a lot of respect because you're working your butt off, and you're not letting the fickleness of the music industry keep you from doing your dream. I just want to applaud you for that, and I also want to just say you guys are. I just love the fact that you're using the modern technology to your advantage. You see that there's a way that the modern technology like Reverb Nation can still promote you and give you opportunities. So would like a radio station like JJO, would they play your music based on the success that you've had with Reverb Nation, JJO out of Madison?
we are on some radio stations in Madison. That's I'm not sure about JJO. I'd have to look at the sheet. But we've done our homework, and one thing about this business, we're lucky we have some people that like what we do, but there's going to be radio stations that just don't. So they either will like it or they won't, and that's just part of the game. You can't take any of this personal because it's just how it is.
If they'll play it, great.
If they play it, great. If they don't, they won't. And that's that's just the game that we play, and our rule of just we were going to have fun no matter what. That's what we do, and that's why we've been so fortunate. But the technology in today's world, this last CD, we did all the work ourselves. We did all the recording, which we've always done. We did all the mix and master ourselves. Ed and Randall helped me do the final mix, and then Randall's daughter, Abby, who was 12 years old, helped me do the final mix because she's got younger ears, and it runs in the family. Everybody's got music in our family, and Ed's family and our family, and so we do all the work ourselves, and it doesn't necessarily have to cost $1 million. If you've got a top flight computer and Pro Tools or Logic software and some good microphones and some good preamps, you can put out world class records without spending a ton of money.
Yep. Well, guys, let's take another break and play another song. Next song up is "Remember Me Now." So, how about giving us a lead in on that?
That's another one of those songs that's we're famous for the ability to use a lot of dynamics. It's a song about we've all been in a position where you come back home and people don't seem to remember you, and then you remind them who you are, and you remember me now.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Look at me now.
Well, if you guys need to share the booze that you guys are drinking over there, getting all happy. So.
We're drinking water. This is just how we are.
Yeah. All right.
That's awesome.
Well, let's cue up "Remember Me Now." Here we go.
Like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, trolling in the shadows there, afraid to show yourself, you don't dare. Behind the mask, the lies are true, never giving up the ghost inside. You're so easily forget the ones you left behind. Well, I can see you there. Who could you be? Cloaked in some invisible disguise, a distortion of reality. Do you remember me now? In all the lies you told me. Do you to be bought and sold. To hold you accountable would be a revolutionary act. But sooner or later we're gonna get real tired of this. And we're coming. We're gonna get you back. And you know just the right words to say, but it's never quite what you do. You're so completely connected, you know just who is who. And like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, you change your stripes as you go, pretending to be a saint, but the devil, he owns your soul. Well, I can see you there. Who could you be? Cloaked in some invisible disguise, a distortion of reality. Do you remember me now? And all the lies you told me. Do you remember me now? And all of this you handed me. Do you remember me now? And all the lies you told me. Do you remember me now? And all of this you handed me.
All right, we are back. Crimson Metal Show. We are still on the phone with Barrun Runes from Wisconsin. Now guys, I believe Evan had a very popular question.
My signature question, guys. Yeah,
Barrun.
Barrun Runes. Guys, tell us, how can we find you and how can we find your music?
Well, we're on iTunes. We're on CD Baby, Amazon, almost all the digital outlets.
Most major outlets.
We're on, I have a Twitter account, Reverb Nation account, but everybody's on Reverb Nation.
Well, let's talk about what's your Twitter handle? How do we find you?
It's Barry Anderson at Barrun Ruins, I believe. I don't have it right here.
Barry Ruins. Are you guys on Facebook at all?
Yes. Yeah, it's you can just easiest way to find any of that stuff is just Google the name Barrun Ruins.
It'll come up.
And it'll come up. We have a bunch of pages.
That's true. You guys have a fairly unique name, and so I think looking for Barrun Ruins music, we're likely to find it. So, guys, please go out there and look for Barrun Ruins. We'll also probably get a link going on the Crimson Metal Show.
Yep.
So it shouldn't be hard to find you guys through us.
Yeah.
So.
Now, the one thing I did notice was you didn't have an Instagram page.
No, we don't. Right now, we're not doing Instagram. It's really about time, and it's really about cultivating the fans that we have. I get up to, believe it or not, 1,500 emails a day between and messages from bands around the world that are basically all looking for the same answers. And I do the best I can, especially people that are fans or bands that are fans. We've got a lot of bands in Europe that are friends and fans, and if they message me, I'm going to get back to them. But it really is about time, and it is about that networking, so that if we do tour in Europe, which we have a major fan base in Europe, we got a major fan base in India. If we tour there, we want to connect up with the bands and the fans that are there, and the more outlets you have, if you're covering too many of them, you're not really going to be able to. At least I can't take the time to do the proper networking with them. So
if we do another like Instagram, we add something, it's going to be overwhelming us. It's going to be too much. Not going to be able to
so that's the reason we have limited. I used to have a MySpace account. It's still there, but I don't use it. Nobody does.
Yeah, well,
anymore.
I think nobody uses MySpace
That kind of brings something up, guys. I mean, I know that one of the things with musicians, and especially in the metal community, is we tend to know each other, we develop those connections. Have you seen that type of connection change over time with the introduction of some of these new forms of technology and social networking?
Yes, I have. We're really good friends with a band called Mooncry out of Germany, and they just basically contacted me, and I promote them some, and they promote us some, and there is not as much of that interconnection, person to person. If you're going to be on a show together, or if you're on the radio stations together, then there is. But they comment that they really have had a hard time breaking into the States. Right now, I think they're number 6 on the all play, whatever they call it. It's competitive with Billboard. They got a song called "The Beast in You," and it's going. That's the biggest issue, is there isn't that interconnection like it used to be, because nobody gets together anymore. You used to play 300 shows a year, and now people are doing maybe 60, 80.
Maybe 100.
It's 100, yeah. So.
All right, guys. Well, we like to do a little segment called the Metal Mentoring, where we'll let the local band ask a few questions of the national artist, and I think the guys here from PET maybe have a question or two.
Sounds good.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Great. I'm Keith with PET. I play bass. And first off, I just want to thank you guys for coming on with us and talking to us. It's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Second off, I got to say I am a diehard Green Bay Packers fan.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
End a lot of the games, so already. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, to the question, really, I just wonder, what does it take? What can we do to gain national exposure? And furthermore, the local, how do we be more prominent in the local scene without going through some talent agency or, people who promote shows and whatnot? What can we do ourselves?
The biggest issue, and right now we're not signed with anybody. The biggest issue is really doing the homework. I can't see your picture here right now, but image is really important. There's
Extremely important.
we have a certain look. If you look at our web art is done by Siege Industries. That's really important. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the lazy boy remote syndrome. People are going to flick through your songs on the internet, and they do it to us, but they see something that stops them dead in their tracks. They're going to give you a listen.
They're going to play it.
And if the song catches their ear, they may not remember the name of the band, they may not remember the name of the song, but they'll remember the look.
Right.
And they go, I remember those guys, and then they click on your play. Because that's what really made the difference for us, was that image to stop people dead in their tracks to actually give us a listen.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
that's very helpful.
Yeah.
So you got to spend a little money to make money. Yeah. But some of that web art, you can $100 here, $100 there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like last week, guys, we had Rocky Gray, who was a drummer for Evanescence and We Are the Fallen, and that's what he does now. He does artwork, and he will do album artwork for like $100, $200, something like that. So
It's not extremely expensive.
No. And if you can get professional artwork that's going to catch, potential fans' eyes, that's the first thing they're going to remember. They're going to remember your look as a band and the artwork that's on your websites. And it's as simple as that. Honest to God, it really is.
Yeah, I had one question. I know you mentioned earlier that you guys did all your own recording. That's kind of the same we're boat in right now. Then I also mentioned, or heard you mention that you're actually not on or in a label or assigned to a label.
No.
So that was one thing we're kind of in that same ship in the fact that we've created our own music, but we don't really know where to go with that. We basically networked it as hard as we can, grind with it, play it at shows. But I mean, in a sense, do you have you been on a label before? Do you feel like you need a label, or is it almost a sense of self-management?
We have, but and in all honesty, unless the label has something to offer you, other than another bill to pay,
They're not worth it.
it's really counterproductive. Because you look at like a band like Korn. Korn is an independent band. They have their own label, and this all started even with the Beatles. The Beatles was making a penny on a dollar until they got their own Apple label. So this is nothing new. It's how you approach it. So if you have the right image, the right music, and the right personality, you can do anything. But you got to do the work.
You got to sign the right contract and really read the contract.
And don't sign a 360 contract.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but bad things about those.
Yeah.
Only read the contract.
Oh yeah. But that's about all they have to offer in today's world, because they want 50% of your shows, 50% of your merch.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, we are just about out of time. We're going to play one more of your songs. It's called "One of Those Yesterdays." What can you tell me about that song? Give us a little lead in.
Well, when I write lyrics, I write them about other people, and it's a song about a couple that got together when they were their first prom, and they went through their whole life, and they basically, it's just a life experience song of how you take things for granted, and you wish you could go back. You don't give up almost anything for just one of those yesterdays.
All right. Well, let's kick it off.
Thanks.
Up from our dance, that first romance, with selfies and texts to send, that first kiss, a swing, a miss, but we're trying it over again. I can't believe my eyes that you were there dancing with me, to my surprise. You wanted everyone to say, well, I'd trade 10,000 tomorrows for one of those yesterdays. I'd do anything, I'd beg, I'd borrow for one of those yesterdays. A porch, a swing, a wedding ring. I proposed a venture, I guess. You took your time, a tear aside. I couldn't believe it when you said yes. A wedding day. In practice, just to say I do, it's hard to wait. When all I really wanted was you. Well, I'd trade but the angels